Questions for Tre?
How did it feel to get out there and just have a dominant performance just to start the season and kind of put things on the right track for you?
Something like that, that's always good. Getting off to a fresh start, a good start. I mean, that's a confidence booster, and I think that it's going to help our defense. It's a building step, and I feel like it's going to help us out here in the near future.
Do you have to say anything to Bookie or Justin playing their first game?
No, those guys were ready. They prepared very well, starting from camp until now. So it's one of those things that they're ready to get out there. They were excited to get out there, and it showed on the field. They both played really well, and I'm excited for them.
How different was it for you, just having been a starter last year and going into this year?
I mean, I felt like last year, playing those few games that I did play, it helped me out, helped me kind of get the feel for things. And I feel like this year, coming into the season, game one, I feel like I was more comfortable, kind of playing more as myself. And I just feel like just being out there with the defense as a whole, I feel like we're on the right path.
Tre, I know you weren't out there, but Kyler's 15-yard scramble in the first half when he reversed his field and everything, if you're on defense there, how deflating is that when you have a guy so many times and just can't wrap him up?
Plays like that is tough. Kyler, he's that type of player. He's going to have those wild plays. And so seeing that, we see that every day in practice, Going against that every day in practice, that helps us out as well, preparing ourselves for that. So that's not something that surprised me, and I wasn't shocked by it. It's kind of one of those expectation type things with him. So it's just one of those wild plays that he's always capable of putting out there.
You guys prepared for 3 quarterbacks, it seemed like, pretty well over the last week. There's no guarantee that they're going to start Wilton Speight with UCLA. Is it kind of a good thing that you had that going into the fall camp and through fall camp, that you had to prepare for more than one quarterback as you face UCLA?
UCLA, they're a great team. All the quarterbacks they have are great, so it's just something that we have to come in starting today, prepare well. Like I said, we don't know who we're going to see, who we're going to get. But I'm pretty sure, whoever we play against is going to bring their best. So it's just something we have to prepare for and just be ready.
You guys obviously came in together, talking about Chris Roberson. When you saw him come out there as a starter, did that kind of amp up the guys that came in with that class on the defensive side, or just the whole team together? When you saw him as the starter, did you guys kind of go like, oh yeah, it's on type deal? Because you prepared for all 3, but obviously you know him really well. Did it kind of give you a little extra boost?
Something like that. That is kind of a little extra boost. Just like I said, knowing that he came in with us and he was a part of our class. And then transferred over. It's just one of those things that it makes the game a little bit more exciting. Knowing the person, the quarterback that you're playing against. So it's just one of those things that it's exciting and just good to play against them.
Tre, Florida Atlantic didn't test you guys down the field too much, but what about the screens? How did you feel like you defended those screens, and was there a noticeable difference between that and last year, the way you guys played those?
I feel like we defended them pretty well. I mean, we were harping on those in practice. We knew coming to the game they were going to be a big screen team, heavy screen team, shots here and there down the field, but we knew their main passing offense was screens. So it's just something that we try to prepare for each and every day, and I feel like we went out there and defended them well.
Is the secondary better equipped for that play specifically this year?
I feel like as a whole, our secondary, I feel like we're equipped for whatever anybody throws at us. It's just something that you have to study the tendencies of the team you're playing, and just go in there and take it game by game and week by week, and just prepare every week for each team.
How much of a difference does a guy like Ryan Jones, who can, he's slated as a linebacker, but obviously he's been a safety his whole life, and obviously he was recruited as a wide receiver to come in here. How much of a difference does he make, not only being able to string out those screens, come up and play the run, just his overall athletic ability? How much of a difference does that make in your defense?
Having a guy like that in that position is it helps out a lot. He's very flexible. He can, like I said, he came in as a safety, so he has the coverage skills. He's big enough, so obviously he plays a linebacker position, and it's just one of those guys that he can do more than one thing. So having him on our defense, it helps out a lot.
They told us on Saturday after the game that Addison Gums was gone for the season. Are you able to kind of describe what that means to you guys as his teammates?
One of our brothers is down, so with him being gone, you know what I mean. But we're playing for him now, you know what I mean. As if any of our brothers went down. So it's one of those things, you know. We hate to see it happen, and it hurts, because I was looking forward to seeing Addison play this year, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people were as well. So it's just one of those things that we pray that he has a speedy recovery, and we're going to play for him.
You guys got your hands on 3 or 4 balls on Saturday, didn't bring any in. How did that go over in the film room?
We haven't went over it yet, but you know what I mean. Myself alone, I dropped one. We dropped a few back there. It's just, the opportunities were there. We just in the future we just have to make sure we capitalize on them. Plays like that are big. Winning the turnover margin in the game, it helps out a lot. So as we see, like I said, we have the opportunities. We just have to capitalize on them now.
What does that say about your guys' development from last year to this year?
I feel like that says a lot about it. You know what I mean. I feel like as a secondary as a whole now that, we're all kind of gelling together and playing as one. And I just feel like that's going to help out because, I feel like we know where each and every one of us is going to be at certain times. And, it helps out on the field and presents more opportunities for us to get our hands on those balls like that. Like I said, we just have to come up with them.
Do you feel like, you guys go against CD, Marquise, Grant, all those guys during practice. They were first-year guys starting. You and Parnell were first-year guys starting. Do you think that just the overall growth between not just you guys but the wide receivers, you guys going up against each other all the time in practice, does it seem like it's a little bit easier for you guys when you go up against your opponents saying, man, you got potential All-Americans that you face every day in practice? How much does that help you all out?
It helps out a lot. Like you said, having those guys. I feel like we have one of the top, if not the best, receiving core. So going against those guys every day in practice, it prepares you well. So when you do get out there on Saturdays, you're overly ready for the receivers you see on the other side, and it's just one of those things that it benefits us and it just helps out.
Tre, with such a lopsided win, the Twos were able to get a lot of extensive playing time. How big was that, and what was it like seeing Miguel Edwards play?
Miguel, along with the other freshmen, I was very happy for him, very excited for him. They've all been working hard, especially Miguel. With him, he's a DB, he's a corner. So him being in our room, he's one of our close brothers. So I was just excited for him. I'm pleased with the way he played, and him getting those reps and getting to play, that's going to help him out in the long run. Just him getting his feet wet, just getting a feel for the college football atmosphere. So I'm just happy and excited for him and the rest of the younger guys.